As far as stocks go, everything's looking really great. S&P 500 is up 59 points to 6,902. The Dow is up 326 points to 49,859. NASDAQ is up 300 points to 22,879. Looking at the commodities market, crude oil is up $2 a barrel at $64.61. Gold is pushed up $120 today. Spot price sitting at $5,025. Silver is up $4.55 at $78 per troy ounce. Looking at the crypto market, not so good news there. Bitcoin pretty level but down 0.12% at 67,483. XRP down 0.5% at $1.47. Ethereum down. Actually, it's up 0.3% right now at 1,986. Stellar Lumen XLM down 0.1% at 17 cents. Cardano down 1.8 at 28 cents. Kind of a mixed bag of tricks today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? So I turned Restream back on. Do you hear us over there now, Alex?
Let me mute here so I don't echo us.
Okay. Franny Dragonfly said, "Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday to you too." Benji 1959 is here. Boss Lady, Martin's WB. Holy smokes. Everybody's piling in. Love it. Welcome in, everybody. Wildlife fan. David said, "Too many buttons, not enough fingers." Wait a minute here.
Yes, I can hear you on YouTube, but you need to readjust the screen because it's showing the entire
there we go.
TikTok window.
Got it. Okay. So. Yeah, maybe just turning it off and on helped. I don't know. Nismore, you
Hello, IT. Have you powered it off and back on again?
Exactly. Tire Man, Jason Coons. Oh, Charlie said Sam's new nickname, Sam Waxman. Oh, come on now. That sounds a little too much like Sam Bankman Freed. Bankman who's been freed? Interesting.
Fam Freed.
Exactly. XRP Mom is here. Hey, Brian Dellin's here. Good morning, Brian. Laffy rocks. Holy smokes. Kevin Kiesler said hump day. Exactly. Pure Blood Holly John says a good swift kick always works. Isn't that the truth, Holly? Isn't that the truth? Tim Shaw 707. Dave, what do we have for a farming and agriculture report today?
Well, good morning, everybody. From a beautiful hump day. It's windy here in the Midwest. Corn is mixed across the board. Soybeans up 1 to 3. Wheat is up 4 to 7. Cattle's up just a little bit, about a 0.02%. Hogs are up 3 to 4 tenths. Big news on a trade deal with Taiwan. Good for dairy and ag. Taiwan agreed to eliminate 99% of the tariff barriers for the U.S. They're looking into wheat, beef, beer products, dairy products, pork, lamb, sheep meat, tree nuts, dog, cat food, ketchups, and peanuts from the U.S. They're also going to be doing, what was the other? They're also going to be doing plans to purchase $44.4 billion worth of liquefied natural gas, crude oil, $15.2 billion of civil aircraft engines, $2.5 billion worth of power equipment, power grids, materials, generators, storage facilities, marine equipment, and other things. So really good deal. Taiwan is the third largest purchaser of U.S. milk right now. So all good news for the U.S. and the ag side of it anyway.
Yeah, wait till the other $18 trillion of foreign investment starts rolling in. Holy smokes. Wildlife fan, thank you for the star. Baby Girl is here. Good morning, Baby Girl. I haven't seen you in a while. PJ Party said, "Oh, no, I'm late. Good morning." Yes, you are late, young lady. That's all right. We'll scold you later. Sassy Minnesota Girl said, "Good morning from windy, snowy Minnesota. Had beautiful weather a couple of days ago." I know. Go figure, right? It rained here in California for the last several days. I mean, I got flood warnings, prepare for torrential downpours. And then today, super sunny. Go figure. James, what do we have for a military report today, sir?
Well, we are going to highlight the Apache helicopter. The AH-64 Apache is being actively transformed into an anti-drone platform utilizing new 30-millimeter proximity-fused ammunition. The XM-1225 Apex is now being used to shoot down unmanned aircraft. Recent testing has confirmed its ability to destroy drone swarms using existing sensors and weapons without modification to the aircraft, which is a huge saver of money. The Hydra 70, or the 2.75-inch folding fin aerial rocket, also can come equipped with a proximity fuse. They label it an advanced precision kill weapons system. In trials, the Apache E-model version 6 successfully destroyed 13 of 14 target drones. The United States operates the largest fleet of Apaches with 1,275 in operation. As of 2024, 2,700 Apaches have been delivered globally to the United States and its global partners. There are 184 more on order for the United States and 115 to be refurbished as we go forward and distribute to other units throughout the world. The Apache has proven track records of being truly a lethal force on the battlefield. In case you were wondering, the Apache has two General Electric 701 turbine jet engines throwing out about 3,100 shaft horsepower.
Wow. Now, for some background here, James, you were an Apache helicopter pilot, correct?
I was a mechanic and a pilot, yes, sir.
Wow. That's great report as always. Thank you. Tally Bixby said, hit Sam with your best shot and fire away, Pat Benatar. Wait a minute here. I'm not the target here. Oh my gosh, Tally. Melissa Flinner, thank you for all the gifts. Wildlife fan, that was a very cool dinosaur. Thank you. XRP Mama, thank you for the gifts as well. Holy smokes. Blondie Bomb 711 is here. Wendy J just popped in. User said, good morning from Texas. Brian said, is it milk or milk? Well, I think it's milk. I don't know. Magic is here. Good morning, Magic. Oh, my gosh. Benji 1959, Big Ben. Oh, Towie Bixby said, is Sam the only happy one today? I don't know. Everybody's pretty happy. I don't know.
Can't see the smile under the beard.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Leonard Little is here. He said, wow, Pat Benatar, she was from Richmond, Virginia. I didn't know that. Did you guys know that? Pat Benatar? Is she even around?
You are big news.
Is she even around anymore? I don't know.
Yes, she is.
Let's see here. Oh, David Morales over on YouTube. Thank you for all the tips. David's been kind of guiding me to make sure everything's working properly. Rick,
earlier he said, I'll be right back after I learn lip syncing.
Yeah, exactly. Hometown Girl is here. Thank you. Blue Flames 41. Thank you for all the gifts. Nick Copeland, thank you for the gifts. All right, let's see. Native San Diegan said, we're always happy. We are always happy. It's a happy time. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Ooh, thank you, Charlie. Was that a llama? I don't know what that was. Or maybe it was a camel. My Middle Eastern heritage. I don't know. Oh, God. Jay Hicks said, can drones get fitted with a wax feature for Sam? You guys, you got to pump the brakes on this whole wax thing. All right, let's jump into some stories here. James, we're going to come to you first on this one. A nuclear reactor was transported by air for the first time in 60 years. This is according to the Department of Energy. Now, I don't know much about this. I don't know what they used a C-17 apparently, James. But what do you know about this story?
Well, the Ward 250 is a 5-megawatt nuclear reactor. It has the capability of powering 5,000 homes. And it actually, I watched this as it unfolded, and I was going to report on it the other day, but I kind of wanted to get some more dirt on it. It took 3 C-17s to move that entire reactor. By July 4th, there's going to be 3 of these nuclear reactors up and running. What they plan to do is use these to power military bases so we don't have to rely on a power grid.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's so much in the narrative space about nuclear reactors. Alex, what do you make of that?
Well, I mean, our military moving stuff, that's no new story. But moving a nuclear reactor, one, why are they moving it? Where are they moving it to? What's it going to power? When we look at the new technologies that are coming and proven, I think 2026 this year, one of the first container-sized nuclear reactors is supposed to be fired up in Utah at a testing facility. So, with a Connex-sized nuclear reactor, the moving of those reactors becomes way easier and much more efficient and modular, right? They can connect multiple together. So interesting to see what the future of energy has for us.
Well, that particular reactor was moved from California to Utah. So maybe that's what it was about. I don't know. Dave, what do you make of it? Oh, you're muted, Dave.
You're muted, button.
He said the size of it was a large van, and it did go to Utah San Rafael Energy Lab for testing. So they said move forward with fully commercializing it by 2028.
Interesting.
That's
very
the plan.
interesting.
That's the plan.
Kathleen Paschke's over here on Facebook. Good morning, Kathleen. Rick Sr. said that's where I am. Where, in Utah or in California? Doug Rice 59 said happiness comes from walking by faith, not by sight. Words of wisdom, Doug. Words of wisdom. Let's see here. Lynette Ranley is here. Good morning, Lynette. Brian said power grid going down. Well, I think it's interesting. In fact, we're going to jump right into that story from this. We're talking about the possibility of blackouts, internet outages, and all these things happening. Well, last night, YouTube, Google, AWS, Cloudflare, Netflix, X, Xbox Live, Steam, Reddit, Facebook, Instagram, Amazon Prime, TikTok, and Gmail all went down. They were all lit up on down detector. Alex, what do you make of that, if anything?
Well, same thing. So everybody understands DNS, dynamic naming service. Okay. A website, a service, anything on the internet we've all heard the term IP address. So if you're going to a website, abc dot whatever, DNS resolves that name to an IP address. And so to get from your computer to the server that you want to access data from, Yahoo, Google, any of the above, that DNS has to resolve that route, right? A Nexus 7000 Cisco router can store millions of routes. And DNS is a very, very touchy service. And when DNS is on one device, it will replicate to multiple devices across the world, right? So that everybody understands if I'm going to Sam Shalhoub then this is the IP address that I'm going to point you to. And so when somebody makes a mistake on one DNS server, it will replicate out across the world very quickly. So these things can happen very easily, and it's not necessarily something nefarious. Could it be? Are we in preparation for? I mean, not out of the realm of possibility, but just so you understand, it takes one cowboy in one closet in one city to screw up a whole bunch of people's day by putting out bad DNS routes. So we'll have to wait and see if they give us any further information as to why it happened. But it can be as simple as some moron published an update without double checking, and it broke everything until that new update gets pushed out to fix everything. It can be rather chaotic in the internet world.
Yeah, James.
Well, it can be that it's signaling underlying infrastructure, hardware, and capacity issues. And the other possibility that I dug up was they could be testing for an EBS shutdown protocol.
Yep, we just don't know. David?
Yeah, one of the excuses they said it was tied to an issue with its recommendation system. Now, there was 350,000 users as of last night, and we were one of them on the YouTube side, but on YouTube TV, we were good. But as of this morning, Spotify had problems with 48,000 outages on this morning. But it's able because they weren't able to load the app and play music as of this morning. So
makes you wonder with all these different blotches of outages, what may be coming. I don't know. I'm not saying there's anything coming. I'm just saying Keep your head on a swivel. Wendy J, thank you for all the gifts. Charlie, thank you as well. Boss Lady Teresa is here. Tammy C54 and JP Metal Slayer. Good morning, JP. David Bouchard over on Facebook said, I'm behaving today with popcorn. Okay, Dave. I don't know about that. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out with you. Apparently, T-Mobile, it looks like in the chat, was having some issues as well. Interesting. Enrico's here. He said, Grand Rising, all beautiful souls, sending love to all from Northern California. Wonderful. Thank you for the kind words. Lee just showed up, and Jerry BR549. Jerry said, CB radio backup. Probably a wise choice. Tammy C54 said, are you all reading Epstein files? So there is a lot to dig into that. And throughout the show, here we go. Alex is prepared. Throughout the show, we're going to touch on some of that, but we'll have to wait to see what happens. Big Daddy's here. Good morning, Big Daddy. Miss Sassy Minnesota girl said, oh, my God, which one of you guys can I call if that happens? You can call me, Sassy. Happy to help any way I can. So President Trump said that he's going to give his State of the Union next week, even if the Democrats keep the government shutdown going. Would that not put them on full blast? What do you think, Dave?
It'd be great if it was empty in there and it was just Trump talking. They said he's going to talk about economic efforts, border security, and government efficiency, but nothing's been produced on what they're going to talk about. America first.
Yeah, exactly. James?
This isn't the first time that a shutdown came where a president gave a State of the Union. The last time this occurred was in 2019. However, we have to wonder how many lawmakers will be arrested in their return, or how many will be arrested during the shutdown if they were implied within the Epstein files.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys, we're talking about millions of pages. Now, AI can do, oh, thank you, Tammy. AI can do a very good job. But again, there's so much to decipher in there. It's going to take time. So we had a question. Oh, Alex, will you pull up the U.S. debt clock? Jay Hicks said the U.S. debt clock message is hilarious. I'm not sure what that's all about, but let's see. David Morales said a Tesla grid supply could be ready. Well, it wouldn't surprise me, David. Oh, hold on. I got to change this over here. Bear with me, everybody. There we go. What is it? Can you pull it up or?
It is rather funny. So you have, can you see that, guys?
See two
Is that
pictures.
AOL?
AOC.
AOC.
Yeah, Ocrazia Cortez. The bubbles that are not showing up says, where does money come from? Who creates it? Who controls it? Ocrazia Crazia Cortez says, that's a silly question. Everyone knows where. From a wallet or a purse?
That was a good one. Thanks, Jay Hicks. Texas Terry's here. Good morning, Texas Terry. Oh, my gosh. The neutral party said, keep the government shut down. Yeah, we see a lot of good things happen when the government gets shut down, I personally believe. Jay Hicks said the U.S. debt clock is trolling AOC. How can you not troll AOC? I mean, I think I think that's central casting personally, but we'll see. Dog Lover's here. Good morning, Dog Lover. Brian said that's her mentality. Laugh out loud. Yeah, exactly. Lisa G. Marie is here. Good morning, Lisa G. All right, moving on. So Bayer, their stock soared yesterday. It was a $10.5 billion settlement on current and future Roundup cancer lawsuits. I don't think we've seen the end of this story. Dave, you know more about Roundup and what's going on with the farming industry. What do you make of it?
Yeah, this is on top of a $10 billion settlement that they did in 2020. I don't know if this shuts it down completely, but I doubt on what that consists of. It's 7.5 of that money is for primary filed in Missouri State Court, designed to handle existing cases and potential future claims over the next 20 years. $3 billion is already doing existing settlement on U.S. lawsuits for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to see a hell of a lot more, James.
Well, Dave said most of it that I was going to say anyway, but Roundup litigation has plagued Bayer ever since they bought Monsanto for 60 million, and as of today, they still have 67,000 claims that exist. So if it was a company that was ever trying to sell out, and that's kind of sounds like to me what they're trying to signal, they're going to have a hell of a time doing it because this is something that's going to be on for a long time.
Yeah, I agree. Alex?
I think that as time goes on and more is disclosed, the reason that they're having to pay this lawsuit out is much like other things that have been pushed on the populace when the person pushing it or company pushing it knew exactly what it was going to do.
Exactly. It's exposure at its highest level. You have Bayer. You
Dave,
have. Oh, sorry, James. Go ahead.
Dave, is this part of? Sorry to interrupt you. Is this part of the PFAS? Is this something that's going to be in the ground forever?
It'll break down in the sense of it, but it takes time. Obviously, with microbes and stuff like that, it'll be dissolved, but it does take time.
Well, and like what Pat Miletich is doing with soil saviors, they're helping the soil heal. They're getting the heavy metals out. They're rehydrating the soil, and that's what Dr. Wallach has talked about for decades. That so many of our minerals come from the soil, and as we move forward and get this stuff, the toxicity being removed or from not being entered back in, it's going to take time for it to filter out. But I think there's ways around that. Vonnie Darling is here over on Facebook. She said, "Morning, way calmer here today." What happened over there, Vonnie? I don't know what's going on over there. All right. Well, it looks. Oh, that's really. Oh, Dana Mackey. Good morning, Dana. Wendy, thank you for the gifts. Melissa Flinner, Blue Flames 41, Pureblood Holly Johns, lighting us up today. Thank you. Thank you. Wendy, thank you as well. So, Mom Donnie over in New York. He promised free public transportation. He promised lower taxes. He promised free groceries. And I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but what they've done over in New York to try and substantiate his free groceries, they took food banks that were previously food banks and they changed the name of them to free groceries. I mean, come on, dude. Talk about, let's call a spade a spade. Anyway, he's saying that there's going to be a property tax hike in the first in decades of $5 billion at a minimum to plug the hole in their local economy. James, what do you make of that?
Horse hockey.
Exactly.
I mean, the guy, he fails miserably every time he opens his mouth. In my opinion, he's not a politician. And it is another effort to cover up monies that have already been milked from the system. I mean, what a slap in the face to New Yorkers. It's horrible.
It is. And it's the whole thing, that old phrase about it's easier to fool people than to convince them they've been fooled. Well, they've got a job cut out for them there. What do you think, Alex?
Yesterday, Mondani released his first preliminary budget, $127 billion, with warned of a $5.4 billion gap. The dude has no idea what he's doing, right?
Exactly.
This is a pretty clear example of if you don't go out and have your voice heard in the elections, this is the kind of shit that shows up to shovel it all over the rest of the people. Is it disclosure? Absolutely. Is it an eye-opening? Is it central casting? The reality, though, is it's going to hurt a lot of people that really do need the help.
Yeah, I would agree. Hey, June 2024 is here. Good morning, June. Wendy, thank you for all the gifts. Mary Louise Brown, thank you as well. Well, look who it is. Hits is here. Good morning, Hitesh. Glad you could make it, brother. Vonnie Darlings over on Facebook said it was a huge fire and high winds. Holy smokes. Where are you at, Vonnie? I'm not sure what state you're in. Wow.
We had huge winds yesterday and wildfires in southern Kansas, southwest side of the state. But hundreds of thousands of acres, fire tornadoes. It was nuts.
Are they firing up the DEWs again, I wonder? Ooh, look at that for wildlife. Huh?
That's not the case. When you have prairie land Yeah, prairie lands like we have here, and 25, 30 mile an hour sustained winds with 40 to 50 mile an hour gusts. All it takes is some idiot flicking his cigarette out the window, and the whole freaking countryside goes up.
Right, right. Wildlife fan, thank you for the coral. That was really beautiful. That was really cool. All right, did I get everybody on that?
I had one.
Oh, go ahead, Dave.
They're proposing a property tax hike across the board, an increase of 9.5%, rising the citywide rate from 12.28 to 13.45. This would affect 3 million residential units, including single family homes, condos, and co-ops, and 100,000 commercial buildings. So I can see an exit stage left if this keeps going.
Exactly.
Ego they can't even get the garbage picked up.
I know, exactly. Ego said, I think he's AOC's brother. It wouldn't surprise me. And he might have married her. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
Interesting. We have David Morrell said, restore Britain, a political party saying the right things. Interesting. Yeah, there's a hell of a lot going on all around the world right now, you guys. And I, for one, am glad to see it. All right, sponsor break here. So, as you all know, Mike Lindell is running for governor of Minnesota. If you need anything Mike offers, whether it's at mystore.com or mypillow.com, give him the business. He's earned it. Use the code SAM, and you'll get up to 80% off of all of your purchases. And that includes a lot of different products he offers. Secondly, we have Neil Naturopathic, chemical-free, toxin-free hair care products. Dr. Neil's a personal friend of mine, and I think he may be joining us Friday with Dr. Glidden. I got a text from him. I think he's coming on. That'll be on Friday for our health and wellness show. Go to my website, samshalhoub.com, click on Dr. Neil's button, and use the code SAM20 for a 20% discount. Also, of course, Dr. Peter Glidden will be here Friday with us. If you go to my website, click on Dr. Glidden's button, you can get a 30% discount on his membership to his website, where you can ask him virtually any question you can think of when it comes to health and wellness. And of course, Bestline Racing, engine and fuel additives par excellence. Go to my website, click on the button, use the code SAM. Alex, let's talk a little bit about meditation.
Daily meditation reduces stress. The regular practice will lower your anxiety levels if that's something you struggle with. And it will boost positive emotions, a positive mental state. It will change your life if you can commit to a daily practice. If you struggle with it, I wrote a guide, Beginner's Guide to Meditation. The link is in my profile if you need to secure your copy, and book 2, hopefully out soon this spring.
Excellent. Thank you, Alex. Jay Hicks said the best lessons have pain involved. Well, I should be Superman by now, I'm telling you, if that's the case.
Except for the back wax.
Oh, come on now, you guys. Full Mental Jacket. What's up, Mental? Jan Lovin being grandma said, better late than never. We're just glad you're here, Jan. Glad you can make it. Let's see. I did get sponsors. That's why the chat is moving so fast. Well, let's see here. Oh, yeah, I guess that sassy Minnesota girl said, I must be Superwoman then. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. All right, moving on. So, James, we're going to come to you first on this one. Iran, Russia, and China are holding naval drills in the Strait of Hormuz. Now, we've got a hell of a lot of armament over in that area now, James. What do you make of this escalation, or is it simply just, practice?
There's speculation. There could be a little bit of saber rattling, but Russia says this is a multipolar world order on the oceans, calling it Will for Peace 2026. This particular operation, Maritime Security Belt 2026, is set to be hosted by Iran in the Persian Gulf, between the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. This is the world's most strategic choke point. Since 2019, these drills have happened 7 times, so that's not really irregular.
Interesting. Dave?
Yeah, it looks like the U.S. Abraham Lincoln was sent over there to control to make sure the strait is not blocked for shipping. So
Yeah, exactly. Beaver said they had a 30-car pileup on I-25 yesterday because of a dust storm due to high winds in south of Pueblo. Wow, I didn't know that. I've been on the I-25 many, many times. I used to live in the Denver area. Wow, that's crazy. I hope there wasn't any fatalities. Doug Rice 59 said Jack Daniels is my go-to for stress relief. Easy now, Doug. Pump the brakes a little bit there, buddy. Oh, that cracks me up. So, Alex, any comments on this escalation, so to speak, in the area?
How many times in history have we had a exercise going on when all hell broke loose? So keep your head on a swivel.
Franny Dragonfly made a very good point. She said, so much going on around the country, but all we keep hearing about is Nancy Guthrie case. Well, I have a couple of opinions on that. I'm going to go to each one of you. I think, number one, because that they are saturating the airwaves with it, it's causing people to question mainstream media. Why are they doing this? What is the significance? We're tired of this. It's forcing people into other areas for news as opposed to the mainstream. Secondly, her daughter was the one that interviewed President Trump and specifically asked him about QAnon. Now, we all know it's not QAnon, it's Q and Anons, but that's what the mainstream media refers it to. What is your take, Alex, on why this is being saturated the way it is?
Everybody watch this left hand very closely so that you don't see what the right hand's doing.
I think that's part of it. Yep. Dave, what do you think?
Complete distract.
Yeah, absolutely. Many people say, well, we had to stop watching this news channel because we got to see something other than that. We're tired of it. Like, it's exhausting, and maybe that's pushing it out to the podcasts and pushing it out to the single guys out there, Benny Johnsons and stuff like that.
I think that's a big portion of it. James, what do you think?
You know, I agree with all of you. Ooh, nice swan.
Nice swan.
It's just something I really can't add to. I mean, it's like Alex says, look over here when something over here is really happening. I think you're all right.
I mean, let's think about this. It's not a robber. It's who takes an 85-year-old woman for hostage? That's the only thing it could be for. Or what else? You know?
Exactly. I think part of it is pushing people away from the mainstream. I think part of it is bringing awareness to the QAnon. I had a family member who is not awake, is a normie for the most part, and we talked about this at length, and it was really wow, what is that? Dawn the third G said a Viking hammer. Nice, Dawn, thank you. But the point I'm getting at is that a lot of people are getting woken up in ways that, and in at a rate that I didn't think we haven't seen for decades. So I don't know what the end game is with it, but as Alex said, you know, years ago, I had a friend of mine introduce me to somebody who was involved in military intelligence. And we literally were on the phone for hours. This is when I was first starting into my journalism world, right? This is 10 years ago-ish, 15, I don't even know. I guess it would have been around 2009-ish. Anyway, 2010, maybe a little later. Anyway, he was in military intelligence. And do you guys remember the whole story about Fast and Furious, where Obama was selling guns to, I can't remember where he was selling them at that point. Wow, that's kind of cool. Look at that horse on my head. Oh, is that the whole fire horse thing going on? I don't know. Oh, it was a party pony. Thanks, Wendy J. So anyway, he after hours on the phone, he said, Sam, that Fast and Furious, they sacrificed that portion to keep people away from what he called an operation called Easy Actor. Now, this is years ago, and we know that this has been going on probably since the beginning of the government, but you're probably right, Alex. There is a lot more being hidden, people's attention being drawn away, but I also think, oh, nice baseball cap, but I also think that there's a reason for it. I don't think, like you said so many times, President Trump doesn't pass gas without, oh, we got another Trump train from Johnny B. Thank you, Johnny B. President Trump doesn't pass gas without a plan. Now, what that plan is in totality, your guess is as good as mine. Rick Sr. said distraction. Exactly. Melissa Flinner. Oh, I'm so she was replying to somebody. Glenn said sleight of hand. Exactly. 100%. I think that has a lot to do with it. Benji 1959 said, we're watching a movie. Well, we are. I agree 100%. Towie Bixby said, I think the Muslim Brotherhood. Well, they're being highlighted as well. No question about it. And thank you for everybody for putting FYF in the chat. I forgot to say, for context, this show is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So as long as you hear that TikTok, education and entertainment. Oh my gosh. Towie Bixby.
You know what would be entertaining, Sam? 200,000 likes and a waxing. I'm just saying.
Not likes. No, I'm not doing the likes. We gotta figure out something else if we're gonna do that. It's gonna have to be because we're gonna have to live stream it. All of us are gonna have to be together when we do it. That's gonna take money. The only way that's gonna happen is if you guys really want to see that, we'll have to figure out something to settle that.
It's gonna be us four and Kelly Clarkson.
Exactly.
Alex, I vote that Alex gets the first strip to rip. I'll take the third, and Dave can be the second. We each get to rip one on.
You guys are pretty free with my pain, aren't you?
I have no hair on my back. It's okay.
Well, I'm Lebanese, so you know I have hair on my back. All right, let's see here. TJ Party said Savannah's husband worked as an advisor for travel and for Clinton's presidential run. Oh, I didn't realize that. Interesting. D said, we learn something new here every day. We all learn something new. You guys put stuff in the chat that just, in fact, put it in the chat what you guys think is going on. David said, a subliminal message to Sam. Take the wax. You guys are just out of control with this wax thing. Barb759 said Sam's agreeing to it now. Only if you guys would have to foot the bill. Because we'd have to have everybody in one place to live stream it. It's the only way I'm doing it. Oh my gosh, you guys are cracking me up. Dave Bouchard said, Sam, you're not going to believe this, but National Hair Removal Day is coming up on March 3rd. Get out of here, Dave. You're so full of it. No way. I don't believe it. Nice try, though, Dave. Watching you over there on Facebook. All right, move on. Let's move on. So this Kathleen Bashke's laughing over on Facebook too. I know, Dave. Nice try, buddy. So Obama was on a podcast a few days ago, and I did. Ooh, Allie Mae, nice Matt Polaris. Anyway, he was on Facebook. He was on a podcast, and he was talking about aliens, and he was asked specifically about aliens. Now, this happened days ago, but for some reason, all of a sudden, it's in the national news on a regular basis. And let's not forget that he said that aliens exist, but they're not kept at Area 51. What was the very first commercial after the national anthem at the Super Bowl? It was all about that movie Disclosure from Steven Spielberg about aliens. Are we looking at the alien narrative getting brought back in? You talk about distraction. Holy smokes. Alex, what do you think?
So I've said it several times, and I say it to my friends all the time. If they came out on the news tonight and said that they're here and the only way to protect yourself would be to insert a corn cob in the backside, half of this freaking country would be walking sideways the next morning. Look, I think mathematically, it's impossible that we are the only. If you look at the hundreds of billions of trillions of other things about the universe that we don't know, if you look at historical markings in caves from thousands of years ago, but why would they try so desperately to not let that information into our current culture? I think that's the question we all need to be asking ourselves. If that's true, then, maybe there's good ones and maybe there's bad ones, and maybe there is some galactic, battle, or maybe we're just the test tube experiments that they've been watching for tens of thousands of years. You know what? We don't know.
Well, and there's a lot of people that I respect that believe there is an intergalactic alliance. Now, I can't say whether it's true or not, but just nothing would surprise me at this point. At least I don't think anything would surprise me. James, what do you think?
Well, everything, in my opinion, Obama ever said was a lie, first of all. His Fast and Furious screw up his health care plan. Maybe somebody was right here in the chat. I think they're probably maybe nuts on. Obama, he's going downhill in his popularity, and he needed to say something to gain some sort of notoriety, maybe to write a book.
It could be, but again, I think Obama is under submission. Dave, what do you think?
I think one person confirmed that is an alien here on the in the world is Kelly Clarkson.
You're just not letting that go, are you? Oh my gosh. Terry Walters is here from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Welcome in, Terry. Glad you can make it. Lovely's mom said he wasn't read in on aliens. Nismaru said another distraction. Andrea Lynn 81 said Project Bluebeam. Exactly. I mean, I've told you guys this story before, but I'm going to say it again. Back in, God, it would have been 1987, 88, 89, in that area. A friend of mine was the former CEO of Western Digital, right? And through a series of events, we became friends. I knew him well. Or I should say I knew him. I wouldn't say well, but we spoke on several occasions. And back then, he was telling me and telling a lot of us that the government back then, this is in 1987, 88, 89, had technology where they could project into the atmosphere what looked like a UFO that was a mile long. This is back then. So could you imagine what they have now? I mean, literally, if they did, it was Project Bluebeam or whatever, and they put this UFO up that was a mile long, you best be sure that most people would freak out, I would think. Alex?
How arrogant are we to believe statistically that we're the only ones?
Yeah, 100%. James?
Don't forget they put Batman on a cloud too, right outside of Gotham City.
Exactly, Dave.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. I mean, obviously, we know the government has technology way beyond what we know of or have seen for sure. I mean, probably 20 to 30 years, in my opinion. It's usually double to triple of what we actually know. So it's interesting times, no doubt about that. But the Congress met with past people saying that we had UFOs, we had life beings, where's that at? I'm still worried about the China hot balloons flying over top. We haven't heard a word about that.
Exactly. Fun Flowers, to your response, Alex, about the corn cob, she said, or he or whoever that is, Fun Flower said, unshucked. Oh, yeah, that would be dangerous. Robin,
and I've got plenty. If anybody needs some, I'm selling them. So I need to make some money over here in Iowa.
Robin Gilman said, no corn cobs for me. Exactly. Melissa Flinner said, we have Bigfoot too. Oh, my gosh. Jay Hicks said, maybe a time traveler did it as a joke. Oh, my gosh. Earl Shannon said, I lost YouTube last night, and then at 5 a.m., my power went out for 2 hours. Yeah, well, I had reported that on that, and we spoke about it already, Earl. There was a lot of things that went down in the last day. Now, are they prepping for something? We'll have to see. D said it's E.T. Exactly. Phone home. Christy B said, I agree with James. Exactly. Wendy J said, Valiant Thor visited the White House. I'm not sure what that means. Do you guys know what that is, Valiant Thor? I'm not sure what that means. Glenn said the alien on the plane that the girl freaked out about. Oh, yeah, that's right. She said that person's not human. That person's not human. She was flipped out. And she didn't look like she was high or drunk or anything. Again, these are anomalies that we really can't explain. We don't know what the hell's going on with this stuff. But it certainly is something to pay attention to.
That motherfucker isn't real.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Barb7599 said, I agree with Alex 100%. Pureblood Holly Johns made a good point. She said, Elon said he was an alien. I do remember that. I remember him saying that. So, oh, God, who the hell knows what the hell's going on here? But we're here for it ringside, to say the least. PM Hughes said, we had a big storm in San Diego County last night. No blackouts last night. Huh. Interesting. Native San Diegan said, "Encounters of the third kind, most likely true story." Well, again, I personally believe that the majority of what we see in the movies is not fiction. Like the Iron Man mask, I think that thing exists. I can't prove it. I hope it exists, but I have to believe that it does. How many other things have we seen in movies? Just fast forward, a few years, and then all of a sudden it shows up in the news. Oh, by the way, we actually have this. I mean, what do you guys think? Dave?
Not only the movies. Look at Star Trek. Look at the Jetsons. Look at cartoons. That stuff,
Exactly.
flying cars and computers and robots, and it's all coming to light.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Hit said Valiant Thor is an old alien visitor alleged back in the 50s and 60s. Oh, interesting. Pure Clean 62 said, I won't believe anything until I see it. Well,
read Rick's thing. He said, I believe my second wife wasn't from here.
Well, it could be. I don't know. Wildlife fan said, I want my Jetsons car. Well, and Benji 1959 said Star Trek. Star Trek is one of my favorite all-time shows, the original series. I love that show. I own it, you know what I mean, on my library. And I watch it from time to time. But when you look back and you think about the phasers, I mean, that stuff exists today. When you talk about space travel, well, does it exist today? But it supposedly exists today, right? I was stirring up the pot yesterday, everybody, on our private chat on TikTok, and I sent out a video to everybody, and it was about the anomalies. I'm not going to say it didn't happen, but the anomalies with the space when we went to the moon, or allegedly went to the moon. And it was about the telephone in particular. James, what were you going to say?
Oh, yeah, you're totally on board with that. I'm the one that sent the crying eyes. I was like, oh, my God, here we go.
I just had to stir up some stuff yesterday.
But Alex was unusually quiet throughout
I know.
the whole one.
Oh, I didn't see the post.
Sure,
it wasn't a post. It was a message.
I didn't see the message.
Oh, okay. That explains that. Dave,
it didn't happen. It wasn't real.
You're such a kook.
He must have been hit by the discombobulator.
Exactly.
My flux capacitor is stuck in the backside. I'll be right back.
That's right.
Hey, John Gwynn's here and Diana Lynn. Hey, guys. Welcome in. Oh, my gosh. You guys are cracking me up.
Lost in space. Yeah.
Yeah, Benji 1959 said, saw that, Sammy. I think I said it to Ben as well. Oh, my gosh. Oh, Melissa Flinner said, remember the show Lost in Space? Danger, danger, warning, warning. I do remember that show. That was a good show.
Okay, Buck.
Oh, my gosh. All right, moving on. So this is interesting. Warren Buffett's been in the news quite a bit because he's retiring, or he has retired. Well, yesterday, Berkshire Hathaway, his company, dumped most of its Amazon shares. They sold more of their Apple and Bank of America shares. And they bought a small interest in the New York Times. Now, why would they do that? James, what do you make of it?
Well, it's an interesting move. This is one of the final acts that Warren Buffett had in the final quarter of his tenure there. They acquired 5.1 million shares of the New York Times, valued at $352 million. They sold 77% of their Amazon stock. They sold 9% of Bank of America and 4% of Apple. Chevron shares increased by 8 million, so they're moving more towards the petro. This was one of the final acts of Warren Buffett recommendations of his 60-year tenure. So I think it's a pretty strategic move, but for those that want to copycat Warren Buffett, that would be a good way to go.
Yeah, exactly. Dave?
Yeah, it's interesting. I know they had a large amount of cash on hand at one point too. So
I think they still do.
They still do, huh? On that before he moved out. But yeah, it's interesting to see where they think it's going, and they don't make too many wrong moves, as we have proven in the past.
Right, Alex. Any speculation on what's going on?
Yeah, this is the 13th straight quarter that Berkshire Hathaway has dumped stocks and has accumulated something like $382 billion in cash. And I think that what he's doing is following the strategy. with that cash, when there's a fire sale of liquid assets, whether that's land, gold, silver, whatever it ends up being, he's moving to a safer economic vehicle. It's not new. He's been doing, again, this is the 13th straight quarter in a row that they have dumped. They're moving away, and you have to ask yourself why. Very smart man. He has built an empire, one of the largest in the world. Very savvy gentleman. Have been to Omaha. Have been to some of the Berkshire Hathaway events. He's not a extravagant, strange fellow. He still lives in a very modest, small little farm home in the middle of the state, and is very practical about what he does and when he does it. He's got enough money for the entire country to have a really great day. Follow what the trendsetters are doing very closely, because I think it's a signal of what is just around the corner.
Yep. Dave, James.
I got one more point of view here. According to my records, it shows Jeff Bezos was in the Epstein files 196 times. Bank of America was called selling with naked shorts, and their margins were called in. So if you look at that trend, maybe this is something that Berkshire is trying to shy away from the nefarious.
Well, and as we all know, the switch is here. And how it's going to play out, your guess is as good as mine. But you don't get to Warren Buffett's level without knowing a few things and taking the proper action.
Facts.
Tim Shaw 707 said, "Warning, Will Rogers." Pureblood Holly John said, "Enjoyable show today, Will Robinson." Exactly. Oh, Holly, you cracked me up. All right, let's see here. Oh, hey, Tracy Fagan just showed up. Franny Dragonfly, John Gwynn, Rick Sr., Dinah Lynn, Allie Mae. Thank you all for the gifts. You guys are sweet. All right, so that's all we have for today. I'm going to be shutting down. Vonnie Darling on Facebook said there's an avalanche in California. Many still missing. I didn't hear anything about that. Did you guys hear anything about that?
No.
Huh. Okay, we'll have to look into it after the show. All right, so we'll be signing off on Facebook and YouTube now. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And in the meantime, I hope you have